camera attention.
All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to be getting started with the program here in just a moment, so please take your seat or get situated somewhere. We're going to get started in just one moment.
Perfect.
Hopefully they'll catch me. All right, we got a smart person over here who's grabbing the dessert.
Already. Yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our program this evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kandler Annual Awards Celebration, everyone.
Hi, we're so happy to have you join us this evening.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then introduce ourselves. Thank you again so much for joining us. I am your co-host, Nimade Bebu. I'm a social media ambassador with ACLU.
And hi, I'm your other co-host. My name is Mike Brickner. I am the executive director of the ACLU of Delaware. Nimade, you are a social media ambassador with the ACLU, but you're also like kind of internet famous, right?
No, but I do a lot on the internet. I am a fellowship. I have a fellowship with NAMI Delaware, so I do a lot in the mental health area, and I help with the different nonprofits around town because I really like getting involved. And you can always find me on Instagram. I literally live on Instagram practically.
Yes, and she's been telling everybody on behalf of the ACLU the rules for voting this year, getting people out to vote. So thank you, Nimade, for everything you're doing as a social media ambassador. We so appreciate it.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see some major turnout at the polls this year.
That's right. So speaking of the polls, a couple of business pieces before we get into the awards and the entertainment tonight. So we do have a few elected officials here this evening. So I see Kathy Jennings, our Attorney General, is here. And Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long is here. There she is. And State Representative Paul Baumbach is here. There he is, yay. Lisa Blunt Rochester was supposed to be here tonight, but unfortunately she had a last-minute thing that came up, so she is unfortunately not joining us. I believe we were also expecting Matt Meyer, our Newcastle County Executive, and Kyle Evans-Gay, our state senator here. Are either of them here? They're probably going to be here momentarily. Yes. So thank y'all for coming. We really appreciate our elected officials being here. Speaking of folks that we appreciate, we have some sponsors too for this event. So
yes, because these events could not be put on without wonderful sponsors who donate to us and really believe in the ACLU. So the first group of sponsors are our Protectors of Freedom, and that is Matt and Hillary Ziffler, Ron Arenstam and Moritz. Give them a round of applause. Our next group are the Defenders of Liberty, and that is Social Contract.
And I know they are in the house tonight. There's a lot of social contract people here. We appreciate that.
And then next is our video sponsor, Betsy McWeaver.
Yes, Betsy, thank you.
Thank you.
And then a few more. So we also have our Partners in Justice. So both of our honorees tonight are Partners in Justice, Corey Priest and Rebecca Lowe. Thank you both. And then I also know we have a huge crowd from the Group Violence Intervention. Yay! And also thank you to Highmark Delaware. Yeah, you can give them a round of applause. Insight, Morris Nichols, Arsht and Tunnel, and also Network Connect. Give them all a round of applause. Thank you to our sponsors.
And now we have a great turnout here, which I love. I love seeing everyone's faces. But it's not only the people in-house that are watching, right?
That's right. So we have to give a shout out because we're going to be looking over at these cameras here throughout the night because we are beaming out live, one, to people who are watching us online, virtually, but also we have a whole crew down in Sussex County tonight, down in Milton at Sydney's Restaurant, where they're celebrating with our Sussex County awardee, Rebecca Lowe. And so I know there's a big crowd down there.
Yes.
We love you all down at Sydney's. I know they're having some good food down there too, because I've eaten at Sydney's and they have delicious food. So I'm excited.
I don't know what I'm more jealous of, the people down there or the ones at home in your pajamas. I hope you're enjoying it.
You know, I was a
You're
little
home.
sad getting into my suit tonight, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I've gotten a little too comfortable work from home. It's nice. But it's nice sometimes getting out, seeing everyone. You all look lovely this evening, so that's wonderful.
Totally. Well, and I like coming out. This is my very first in-person Kandler Awards. You know, I'm a pandemic baby, so my first two were both virtual. So I'm excited to be here. But what I love about tonight is that we are giving out these awards, and that's really the reason for us being here is to recognize like such great folks.
Yes. And you said this is your third year doing the Kandler Awards. What is so special about the Kandler Awards?
Well, so the Kandler Awards are special because they're named after Jerry Kandler, who was the very first president of the ACLU of Delaware Board of Directors. And Jerry Kandler, I never met him, but I have been told by so many people about what a great person he was. He did tremendous advocacy, especially for people, kids in the public education system who had a disability, to make sure that they had an equal and good public education. And so Jerry really dedicated his life to that. So we named these awards after him. And I think that that's a really cool thing because there's so many people here in the state of Delaware who are doing such great things. And we're just taking some time out of our night to recognize some of those folks. So I love this program and I love recognizing all the great people we have here in the First State.
Me too. And we have so many people, and it's one of the things, I've been in Delaware for a few years now, and I love it. Besides just being welcoming, I feel like there are so many people who are just willing to like get their hands in and feet on the ground and do wonderful things for the community. And someone who's doing great things for community is actually one of our musical guest for the evening, right?
Yeah, so we have like a whole show planned for y'all. This is like exciting. We're not just giving out awards. You just don't get to hear mine and Namadi's banter tonight. But we also have a great musical guest, John Flynn, who is right over here. Yeah, give him a round of applause. He is an amazing folk artist, but he's also an amazing person. He works through a nonprofit where he has advocated for the end of the death penalty, advocated for the rights for returning citizens and people who are coming out of prison. So we're so excited tonight to have somebody who, one, is going to be really great entertainment, but two, lives out the values that we're here to celebrate here tonight at the ACLU. So let's give John a round of applause, and he's going to entertain us. Thank you, John.
Can you guys sing?
We can be your backup.
All right. I can use the help. Hi, everybody. It's an honor to be here. Ain't no love without freedom. Ain't no freedom without justice. Ain't no justice without mercy. Ain't no mercy without love. It's a sing-along. Let's go through that now. You can do this. Ain't no love without freedom. Without ain't no free without justice. Ain't no freedom without justice. Justice and mercy. Ain't no justice without mercy. Ain't no mercy without love. Fat man talking about bootstraps while he's hitting out of sand traps. Thin man scrounging round for food scraps while the car he's sleeping in is leaking oil from its valve seals, while the banker's doing cartwheels and the DA is scoring plea deals as the choir sings amen. Ain't no love without freedom. Ain't no freedom without justice. Ain't no justice without mercy. Ain't no mercy, yeah, without love. Politicians flashing sizers as the cops pull down their visors, and we're sadder but no wiser as the world we're watching burn will grow harder just to live in and to find a damn to give in till we wake up to what we've been taking far too long to learn. Come on. Ain't no love without freedom. Ain't no freedom without justice. Ain't no justice without mercy. Ain't no mercy without love. It's the circle of love. May it grow ever wide until no one is standing outside. There won't be no either or then. We'll say both and maybe more when what was lost has been restored and what is torn has been made whole. I can feel it every day in my old bones and my archaic deoxyribonucleic. Yeah, I know it in my soul. There ain't no love without freedom. There ain't no freedom without justice. Ain't no justice without mercy. Ain't no mercy without love. Come on, clap those hands. There ain't no love without freedom. And no freedom without justice. Ain't no justice without mercy. Ain't no mercy without love. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, John. That was fantastic.
I am stirred, you know. I love that. That was great. Oh. Well, so a couple things before we get to our first awardee. Many of you have probably already checked out our lovely silent auction back here. Now, I have to tell you, Namade and I have been checking out the silent auction all week, and we are pretty excited about this, right?
Well, not only are we excited, but I heard something about you.
Oh,
Mike.
yes. What?
I heard that you are very competitive, extremely competitive. Is that right?
I am a little competitive, and it's killing me right now because I'm actually losing the two things that I've already bid on.
Well, you've won 2 years in a row, trips, right?
Yeah, so if you're looking for things to bid on, two that I'll recommend, we have some great trips out there. So my friend Charito Calvachi Mateco up here, she has donated her house in Ecuador. It's amazing. I spent a week there earlier this year. It was wonderful. I won that trip 2 years ago. But also, we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trip to New Jersey. So I also stayed there. No, it's really wonderful. I don't want to Jersey hate here tonight. But it was really lovely. It's a beautiful, beautiful townhome that holds about 10 people in it. Had a wonderful time. We also won that last year, and highly, highly recommend both of those items.
Those sound fun. I liked the trips, and there's a lot of artwork. I'm really big on art, so I love that there's lots of arts to bid on. There's some jewelry, there's some liquor, so there's a wide variety of things to bid on.
Yeah, and there's lots of different types of liquor. So if you're a bourbon person, a vodka person, a gin person, a wine person, they're all there. So we endorse the drinking here at the ACLU of Delaware.
And you can bid if you're not here. There's bidding is happening online.
That's
so
right.
So for those of you in Milton and for those of you at home, you can still get in on the action.
Absolutely. So, but the auction is, of course, I'm very competitive, but I am really here for the awardees. And we have, I think, some really, really amazing awardees tonight. The first one that we're going to be honoring is Rebecca Lowe. And I'm excited about this. Rebecca is down in Milton right now with all of our colleagues down in Sussex County. But for those of you that don't know about Rebecca, we actually have put together a little video about Rebecca that we're going to go ahead and show here momentarily. So we will let the video explain, and then we will talk a little bit more about Rebecca.
Yes.
Rebecca and her husband Bill have lived in his hometown of Lewis since 2000. She graduated from Bryn Mawr College 3 times with a bachelor's in psychology, a master's of social service, and a master's of law and social policy.
So I met Rebecca in 2017. It's 2022. A lot has happened. A lot of people have been discouraged. A lot of people have given up, but Rebecca hasn't. She's still fighting the fight. She's still working with the people and the organizations that will help change things for the better, because she believes that things can be changed for the better.
I mean, this woman is high octane. I mean, she gives the Calvinist work ethic new meaning. I mean, she could outwork 10 guys, on a late Saturday afternoon. It was just incredible.
Rebecca Lowe is the Adult Program Coordinator and Development Director at the Lewis Public Library in Lewis, Delaware. She also is one of the co-founders of Women's March Sussex, Delaware, WMSDE, one of the longest continually operating women's march groups in the nation.
She helps to organize people and get them to the maximum of what they can do. And so when I went up to her at the library and I said I'd like to help, that was the beginning of a great relationship, a friendship, and working together.
This woman is constantly thinking about the other person. And, she'll call us on the carpet sometimes because we've overlooked something. Not out of malice, but just negligence on our part. So there's a certain genuine compassionateness about her, and about her thinking about the other person, and and how they should be part of what we're doing. But what I like about it, it's not PC. It's genuine. She would have been the same way 10 years ago. She'll be the same way 10 years from now.
Rebecca became the liaison with the National Women's Organization for the Sussex organization. And then when the Delaware Commission for Women emerged, she became the liaison with that. So she played a vital role in Women's March from the very first day and is still active in organizing.
In her role as Adult Program Coordinator, she works to ensure the library is a vibrant hub for free thought and discussion. Through partnerships with other organizations and community leaders, the library hosts presentations and conversations on key civil liberties and rights issues.
I don't care if it's reproductive rights, free speech rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, whatever it is, veterans' rights, you know, the rights of the forgotten, the senior citizens, the disabled. I mean, the woman is like a one-stop shop. She's there. And again, I think it's all about her focus. I think it's in her DNA. This woman is just wired to think about the other, right? And so what do we call that in law? We call that equality, right? And what do you call spunk? You call it free speech. And when you put free speech and equality together, what do you get? You get Rebecca Love.
So she's taken her social work ethics and education and learning of helping others, and the library's focus on education and learning, and put the two together.
Rebecca acknowledges and is deeply indebted to her WMS DE sisters and her LPL colleagues for the work they have done and the accomplishments they have achieved together. She is pleased to accept the Kandler Award on their behalf.
We're going to hear directly from Rebecca. She recorded a little video for us.
Thank you. Social activism, by its very nature, is a group effort. Very few activists work in a vacuum or alone. My work at the library and with Women's March Sussex is no exception. I have been privileged and honored to join forces with passionate and committed people. It was our work together that led to this nomination, and I am so excited and honored to accept this award on their behalf. I would like to take a couple of minutes to acknowledge those who have been a part of this work and ask that you recognize them as well. I would like to acknowledge my coworkers at the library, and in particular, Maren and Annette, who help with promotions, our assistant director, Kristen Gramer, who is also my work wife, as well as our director, Leah Roselle. Leah is so supportive of her staff and does everything she can to make the library an amazing place. Recently, Leah and I spoke about what makes a good leader, and she said, a good leader takes all the criticism and none of the credit. And I would just like for us all to take a moment to give her all the credit she deserves. I also would like to recognize Ron Collins, the creator and driving force behind the Lives in Our Law series, which focuses on civil liberties and rights issues. Also David White, who in March of 2020 didn't listen to me when I said I thought our audience wouldn't want to do Zoom programming. So thank you, David, for showing me how wrong I was. Women's March Sussex started in 2017 with over 150 folks from Eastern Sussex when we went together to Washington for the historic march. Somehow a group of us just came together afterwards, formed a board, and got to work. I am so honored to call these women my sisters, and I thank the women who were part of the initial board and who are serving on the current board. And some of those folks include Pam White, Sue Nyden, Marlene Saunders, Connie Jones, Jeannie Levin, Charlotte King, as well as Paulette Rappa, Sue Nogan, and Maria. Lastly, I want to acknowledge my partners with the Reproductive Advocacy Alliance of Delaware and the First State Abortion Fund. These amazing folks are working to defend and advance reproductive rights in the state of Delaware, and it's a privilege to be a part of those efforts. I am deeply indebted to my Women's March sisters, my Repo Rights partners, and my library colleagues for the work we have done and the accomplishments we have achieved together and will continue to achieve going forward. I accept the Kandler Award on their behalf and thank the ACLU of Delaware for choosing to give us this honor.
And we wanted to also mention, thanks to Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long, she did bring a proclamation for Rebecca that we will make sure gets down to you, Rebecca. We're going to have coffee or a glass of wine at some point, and I'll bring you your proclamation, and we'll get it down to you in Sussex County.
Yeah, you've had the pleasure of working with Rebecca previously, right?
I have. I watched that video, and it was really personally touching for me. I first met Rebecca because we were organizing to stop a local ordinance down in Seaford from passing that would have severely restricted abortion. And Rebecca and I and several other advocates really worked against that ordinance. Unfortunately, it passed, but luckily our Attorney General challenged it in court and won. Thank you for that. But Rebecca's been on the front lines of so many things around reproductive rights here in the state. She's also a board member at the First State Abortion Fund, as am I. And we just had a board meeting on Monday, and I thought I was really ahead of my game, and I had read all of the minutes and thought I was prepared. And Rebecca came with like 18 things that she had already done. So she is just amazing, and a workhorse. She has been behind so much of the work happening here in the state of Delaware. So it's just such an honor to recognize her.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to meet her. And shameless plug, if any of you want to know a little bit more about the award recipients, the ACLU does have a YouTube page. And recently I had the pleasure of interviewing both Rebecca and Corey and learning a little bit more about them. So if you go to their page, you can see the videos. There's also one with Mike explaining a little bit about the awards. And while you're there, subscribe so you can see all the other great things that are posted from them.
Yes, she has a lot of good content. So, so before we get to our next awardee, we have a little bit more entertainment for you. So John Flynn is going to grace us with another great song. So take it away, John. Thank you so much.
Well, his name was Woody Guthrie, way back in 1912. He came into this world kicking and a-fussing. We came to love him well, for a life spent trying to tell how we all could change the things that we've been cussing. We just gotta do like Woody done, like Woody done. We just gotta do like Woody done. When folks said, you cannot change things, Woody said, oh yes I can. 'Cause a man can make a difference, and that difference made the man a hero we can turn to when it's time to make a stand. And our lesser angels say to cut and run. You just gotta do like Woody done. Well, his name was Woody Guthrie, and way back in 1912, he commenced the life of holy rabble-rousers. Now with beat-up guitar cases and them bound for glory faces, you can number his disciples by the thousand, and I'm one. We just gotta do like Woody done, like Woody done. We just gotta do like Woody done. When folks said you cannot change things, Woody said, oh yes I can. 'Cause a man can make a difference, and that difference made the man a hero we can turn to when it's time to make a stand. And our lesser angels say to cut and run. We just gotta do like Woody done. 'Cause there ain't much right with a mouth kept shut tight, when your duty just might be to shout. And there ain't much wrong that the soul in a song can make better if you sing it out. You sing it, hey. name was Woodrow Wilson Guthrie. And some 100 years ago, he came into this life kicking and yelling. And he never really quit, and we're better cause of it. The brave and shining truth that he was telling. We just gotta do like what he done, and Pete too. We just gotta do like what he done. When folks said you cannot change things, Woody said, oh yes I can. 'Cause a man can make a difference and a woman can make a difference. You know folks can make a difference. That difference made the man a hero we can turn to when it's time to make a stand. And friends, it's time to make a stand. And our lesser angels say to cut and run. You just gotta do like what he done. Here's a song about some women who have made a difference. The driver said, I don't know what the hell you think you're proving. Rosa said, I paid my dime. And mister, I'm not moving. She was warned. It was explained to her. Nevertheless, she persisted. Lala said, I'm sorry, but I won't follow your rules. I am not afraid and I'm not staying home from school. She was warned. It was explained to her. Nevertheless, she persisted. Through the years, the moral arc of this whole universe slowly bends toward justice due to stubbornness like hers. Chastised for words once written by a woman named Coretta. She tried to finish speaking, but her colleagues would not let her. She was warned. It was explained to her. Nevertheless, she persisted. Through the years, the moral arc of this whole universe slowly bends toward justice due to stubbornness like hers. So do not try to bully her, 'cause she won't back away from a fight that you'll regret each time you try to say she was warned. It was explained to her. Nevertheless, she resisted. Nevertheless, she persisted. Thank you. This next song I was asked to write by a woman named Jennifer Thompson. Jennifer, some years back, was the subject of a Frontline documentary called What Jennifer Saw, and it told the true story of how she made a tragic mistake and she picked the wrong man out of a police lineup, and her testimony was used to send Ronald Cotton to prison for life. Ronald served 11 years of that sentence before DNA was used to exonerate him, and he was set free. And he went looking for Jennifer to tell her that he forgave her. Because he said early in that journey, he had decided that he wasn't going to survive if he kept that anger in his heart. So he decided to lay it down. And his forgiveness profoundly changed Jennifer's life. And it enabled her to, for the first time, actually to begin healing from what she'd been through. And Ronald and Jennifer became the dearest of friends. And they wrote a book together, which was on the New York Times bestseller list. It's called Picking Cotton. And the plan is, at some point, that the book will be made into a film. And they asked me to write this song for that time. This is called Mercy. Although it was in despair, it longed for peace, and so your spirit laid your anger down to stay free from your prison. You forgave me, trapped within a heart that hated. I too was incarcerated by scars someone else inflicted. Never could I have predicted mercy would save my life, 'cause mercy found me when I was thirsty for condemnation. Mercy was my salvation. Mercy, I could not ask for mercy. Redemption cried, you're worthy to be blessed by this mercy and sweet forgiveness. So much had been taken from me. Fear and rage I felt helped numb me. To wounds even I could not see. To my very humanity you reached, but I doubted when you told them you forgave me. Then you met me and I realized that I saw within your eyes. Mercy saved my life, because mercy found me when I was thirsty for retribution. Mercy is my solution. Mercy, pride could not ask for mercy. Redemption cried, you're worthy to be blessed with his mercy and sweet forgiveness. Sweet forgiveness. Mercy can heal your soul. Mercy can make you whole. Mercy can ease your faith. Mercy can break the chains. Mercy gives but it takes. Mercy for our mistakes. Forgive us our trespasses. Raise us up from these ashes. Lashing out with hell's own fury, I had been your judge and jury. Enraged every time you pleaded. Innocent though you proceeded to prove, though you felt forsaken. In those years that I had taken, from this wrong could come some justice. And now you taught me to trust this. Mercy saved my life, because mercy found me when I was thirsty for bitter vengeance. Mercy commuted my sentence. Mercy, could not ask for mercy. Redemption cried, you're worthy to be blessed with his mercy and sweet forgiveness. Sweet forgiveness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. I can barely walk and talk without injuring myself, so the fact that you can play the guitar, the harmonica, and sing, super impressed.
I know he has multiple talents. I mean, I can't play one musical instrument, much less two or three. So pretty amazing.
I was an orchestra kid growing up. I was a theater orchestra person, and I was always impressed that the band kids could do marching band. Any band people in here? Anyone who did band in high school, college? Super impressed with the marching band.
I mean, I did band, but I had no rhythm. I was always on the wrong foot. It was really very sad. So I'm excited because, we've had some, our great first awardee and our great musical intermissions. And now it's time to talk about our second awardee of the night, Corey Priest, who is sitting right up here. Give him a round of applause. Woo! So I'm excited about this because I kind of consider Corey to be like a extended member of the ACLU of Delaware family, and so when his name came up in the nominations this year, it was like, yes, we have to recognize all the good work that Corey's done. We also have a little video that we made about Corey, so we're gonna play that first. And then Corey is going to come up and accept his award and say a few things. So let's watch what all the great things Corey has done.
Corey Priest was born and raised in the South Bridge and North Side sections of Wilmington. He attended Delaware Technical and Community College, graduating with a degree in Human Services. Corey also obtained a Bachelor of Science in Psychology from Wilmington University.
The thing I think is important to say about Corey and I's relationship is that if it started out where I mentored him, if that's the word to use, it certainly has flipped, or at least has balanced. I've learned as much from Corey as Corey would probably profess to have learned from me. So.
Even just by the power of his personality, he is so giving and kind and decent to everyone. But when you take Corey in his natural environment, which is out in the community, what you see is the power of the work he is doing. As I walk the east side of Wilmington, Corey grew up on the east side of Wilmington, everybody knows Corey Priest. And everybody loves Corey Priest.
Corey Priest is the Community Engagement Program Administrator for the Delaware Department of Justice. He started this pioneering position in April 2019, making this the first time in history the department has hired a person it has prosecuted years before.
When I ran for office in 2018 for the first time, Corey was very supportive, and we continued our friendship throughout that very hectic time. I remember thinking all along that I can't imagine working on criminal justice and lowering violent crime and lowering crime in general without Corey's input. And so when I was sworn in as Attorney General in 2019, I asked Corey to join me in the Attorney General's office.
One of the things I learned a lot from Corey, and we talk a great deal about, is his ability to sort of stay even keel, right? The other piece of it is that it doesn't hurt that, Corey is highly intelligent, right? I call him the Rain Man. And, he's just a really well-rounded guy, right? So it's not just intellect. If you took him on, 23rd and Pine, he could survive. You took him to DuPont Country Club, he could survive. There isn't a place that he doesn't fit in. And that's really an exceptional attribute to Corey and his ability to do that, because, if you go where Corey grew up, there isn't a lot of exposure to what he finds himself doing every day today.
Corey's greatest passion is encouraging, supporting, listening, and advocating for individuals beset with barriers and obstacles, in an all effort to empower them to become their best selves.
I think he is boundless in his energy and his determination to just do good. So whenever I need inspiration, whenever the weight of some of the work we do gets you down, I just have to spend an hour with Corey, and I know there's hope. That's what he instills in people, a really solid sense of hope for the future.
Through our relationship and expand our relationships and friendships, we liken it to a tree. And so we say that our tree has many roots, and roots are the people who we've touched or touched us. I'm most proud of the fact that he continues to sort of persevere and work really hard to help people, because my philosophy has been, I think he's sort of adopted a portion of it, is that I stand on the shoulders of a lot of great men. And if I didn't have those relationships, if I didn't have people who really were concerned and cared for me and sort of went the extra mile, there's no way there's no way I've enjoyed the life I have enjoyed. And so Corey's taken that to heart, and he's touched so many people. So when we talk about this tree, as a result of Corey, the limbs have gotten broader and broader and broader because he's touched so many people.
Are you going to read this with me? Are you going to read this with me? As we mentioned, we're so lucky to have Corey in house.
Wow. Wow. So as I look out and scan this beautiful place and look at so many beautiful faces, from family to friends to people I've impacted in the work I do, I can only say wow. First, I would like to thank the ACLU and their selection committee and recognizing the work I do up and down the state of Delaware, affecting the lives of many, impacting people across borders. I would also like to thank my beautiful wife, Janice. Without her, there's no me. There's no me. I would also like to thank God for giving me the gifts to make this happen. I've looked deep inside myself and realized that God has given me a gift to help people, to be the beacon of hope, inspiration, love, joy in people's lives that sometimes escapes themselves. So he gives me that, and I found that to impact the people of this great state of Delaware and beyond. There's one person in this room that I would like to acknowledge, and that's my dad. My mom is watching virtually. I love you, Mom. Down in Florida. She couldn't be here. Give her some love. I would like to say this work began when I was a kid. but I don't know if that's the truth. This work really began as I left the courtroom of Judge Mary Johnston, who's in the building today. And I don't know if it's just me or I'm an outlier. That's my friend today. And that's a fact. I don't know how many people can say that they're friends with their sentencing judge. She had a job to do. It's not personal, but now it is. And you're my friend. Thank you, Your Honor. Charles Madden, I know you don't like, I know you want to stay low key, but really, Charles's success is mine and mine is his. He's the reason, with all the other people I just mentioned, I'm here today. He's put me in position to succeed, to be successful. I learned from him like he learned from me. He chauffeured me to my prom, y'all. We still rocking out. We still rocking out. Yeah, just show some love. And Kathy Jennings, our Attorney General. She gave me a chance. Kathy Jennings said, "Hey, Corey, whatever I can do to contribute to your success, I will." She hired me at the Attorney General's office, the first of its kind in the country that they can hire someone that they formally prosecuted. This work continues because of her. I can impact hundreds of thousands of people across our state and in our surrounding communities because she gave me the opportunity to use my talents, my passion, my heart, my love to impact people who otherwise wouldn't be impacted if I didn't exist in their lives. I am the Community Engagement Program Administrator for the Attorney General's Office, Department of Justice. And really, I pinch myself every day. I pinch myself every day because this kid from Southbridge Projects, 2030 Jessup, is not supposed to be here. The belly of the beast. Thank you, Sam. The belly of the beast. And now I get to spread my wings and bring people with me so we can meet in the margins, so we can be proximate to the struggle, to the cause. That's what this is for. It's not for me, really. It's for the people who I've impacted, continue to impact, my GVI folks, my lit people, my leaders in transition folks, my Network Connect folks, my social contract folks, my family, my big bro. And so when I look at this room and look at this space, I think about how we as a unit collectively can impact our state. How you can take somebody by the hand and say, hey, I'm gonna help you out and I'm gonna impact you like Corey impact everybody else, right? So that's the spirit we need to have in this room. Because we all need each other. We all need each other. No more, no less than the other. And so as I conclude, I want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm appreciative of this award. I gotta recognize someone else, Dr. Sandra Bazille. Because in 2014, I interned at the ACLU, right? It's the last story. I interned at the ACLU and always wondered, how can I receive this award? That's a fact, right? Baby John Cook. And so I said, how can I receive it? And I helped put this together with Rebecca Gerton and Kathleen McCrae and Ryan Tack Hooper and, so I helped kind of put this together. I said, how do I win this award? There was a lot of great people before me that won this award, and I'm just happy to be standing next to them. And so I left. I said, Chuck, Charles, before I interned, I said, I want to intern at the ACLU. He said, I want to introduce you to Kathleen McCrae. I said, please do. I begged him. She came to the office and interviewed me, and I became an intern. But Dr. Sandra Bazell was like, you should do it because you would be a great attorney, right? You should go to law school, Corey. And she's here tonight, and we gave each other the biggest hug. I told her she had to come because all I wanted was a hug. All I wanted was a hug. But these batteries and these seeds that are planted within me are growing in everybody else. The flowers, the branches, the tree, the roots is permeating in this room. And so thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I know I went beyond my 3 minutes, but it's all 3 minutes worth of love. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was great. Can we get another round of applause for Corey?
I mean, how about that? From an intern to working for the Department of Justice to winning the award. It only took him 8 years because that was in 2014 to 2022. So that's pretty amazing.
That is, and this has been, it's so nice having someone in person, getting to feel the energy in the room, seeing all of the people here who have supported him, because we know anyone who's worked in any field, but especially where you're working with the community, that it takes a community to make things happen. So it's nice having him and his community here to support him.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the part where I think we're going to talk a little bit about, what's new and exciting at the ACLU. And one of the things that Charles Madden said in the video about Corey was standing on the shoulders of other people. And I think for me, what is so powerful about Corey winning his award is he was one of the first people when I came to Delaware that they said, you need to get to know Corey because he was the face of the expungement laws here in Delaware. And I found out he wasn't just the face, he was the heart and soul of those laws being reformed here in the state of Delaware.
I love that we're going to talk a little bit, sound love. I love that we're going to talk a little bit more about the ACLU because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a social media ambassador. Shout out to Mira for selecting me to be one of them because I have long-term wanted to work with the ACLU. Kind of a little bit like Corey, you do so much amazing work in the community, and I know some people here in attendance know a little bit about you, but some people may not know about you, so this gives us a little bit of a chance for those here, for those in Milton, those at home, we haven't forgotten you, just for you to tell us a little bit more about you, starting with what does ACLU stand for? I always assume people know, and people don't always know.
Yeah, well, we're the American Civil Liberties Union. We've been around since 1920, but we do, litigation, legislation, advocacy. Why I mentioned, Corey's great work is one of the great programs we have right now at the ACLU of Delaware is Clean Slate Delaware, where we've now helped to pass laws that will make more people eligible for record clearance, but also automate record clearance here in the state of Delaware, which is super exciting and very, very much needed here in the state.
Absolutely, and it's great that that's an initiative. And I know you have another one sort of in the justice realm, which is Smart Justice. Can you tell a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we have our campaign for Smart Justice, which launched in 2018. We wanted to reduce the prison population by 50%. We're down 30% right now. We're going to be focusing on probation reform this next year.
Nice,
so excited for that.
And, we mentioned earlier, and how I came on, which is the voting campaign. You're doing a lot with that, getting a lot of information on that. Can you tell us more about what you have planned for that?
Absolutely. So if you haven't checked out already, go to votedelaware.org. That is where all of the information about how to cast your ballot is, but also questionnaires for our candidates so that you know where they stand on all of the key civil liberties issues.
Yes, and as I mentioned earlier, I live on Instagram, and so Mira and I actually recently did a live on the ACLU's page to talk about voting. So if you have some questions about like what are the top 5 issues that are on the ballot right now, Mara gave some great information about that, as well as some information about the different offices that are up for ballots, because people may not always know that. So that's great, and next week we'll be talking about voting plans, so keep an eye out for those.
Yeah, so make sure you have your plan to vote.
What else do you have going on?
Well, you know, we're filing lawsuits, we're doing all of the good things, so, you know, we are you know, constantly busy at the ACLU. But speaking of busy, this is the, you know, end of the evening of the program. Of course, we want you all to hang out here. We have some delicious desserts over here. Please, please, please help yourself to them. We still have drinks open at the bar and food over here. But I want to remind you, our silent auction is open until 8:30 tonight. So you can bid online on the Octria app. Check out the items back here. If you win an item at 8:30, go back to the registration table. They'll verify that, and you can take it with you tonight so that you don't have to wait to get your item.
Yep.
All right?
And it's open online as well for those in Milton and at home. Till 8:30, you have 25 minutes. You can do it. Bid on those items.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming
Thank you
tonight.
so much, everyone.
We appreciate it. And congratulations again to our honorees.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.